Assalamualaikum. My name is Iwani and I'll be presenting about tourism area of life cycle or known as TALC model from Richard Butler 1980 and the current stage of TALC for Famosa. Firstly, I'll be talking about the history of Famosa in Malacca. Famosa, a Portuguese fortress in Malacca, Malaysia, was built around 1512. It served as a key strategic point for the Portuguese in Southeast Asia. The fortress endured through battles and conquests by the Dutch and British. Today, only the Porta de Santiago gateway and the reconstructed Middelburg bastion remain. Next, we'll be talking about the tourism development, which have 4 points, which is the preservation efforts, infrastructure development, guided tours, and economic impact. For the preservation efforts, we will be talking about the preservation of Porta de Santiago Gatehouse. Famosa is also a part of Malacca's UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2008. Next, for the infrastructure development, we will be talking about the improved access and amenities, which is one of it is roads. It is enhanced for easier and safer tourist access. And it is also about the development of restrooms, parking, and information center. And for the guided tours, it is about the detailed narratives about the fortress, history, and significance. And for the last point, which is the economic impact, we'll be talking about the significant revenue reinvested into preservation and infrastructures. It is also about the employment in hospitality, retail, and services supporting the local community. Next, I'm going to talk about the visitor statistics in Malacca. In 2019, Malacca recorded over 80 million tourist arrivals, reflecting its popularity as a historical and cultural destination. Tourism significantly declined during the pandemic due to travel restrictions. Efforts to promote domestic tourism and health measures have aided recovery, with tourist numbers gradually rebounding. Next, we'll be talking about the tourism policies, which have 3 points, which is the promotion of cultural heritage, public transportation and accessibilities, and lastly is the heritage conservation laws. For promotion of cultural heritage, which is to emphasize preserving and promoting Malaysia's cultural heritage and focus on restoring and maintaining historical sites like Famosa. Next, about the public transportation and accessibility. It is to improve public transportation to historical sites and to enhance connectivity to reduce reliance on private vehicles. And lastly, for the heritage conservation laws, it is to enforce laws and regulations to conserve historical sites, and lastly, to maintain the structural integrity and the authenticity of Famosa. For relevant social economy, there are 2 points for it, which is the first one is income generation and job creation. For income generation, it is a significant source of income for Malacca. Next, it supports local economy and infrastructure projects, and it stimulates growth of local businesses such as hotels, restaurants, and shops. For job creation, it creates numerous employment opportunities in hospitality, retail, and services. And last one, it contributes to skill development through training programs. Next, we'll be moving on to environmental factors, which has 2 points, which is overcrowding control and maintenance and restorations. For overcrowding control, it is essential to prevent wear and tear and maintain visitor experiences. And it is also to manage crowd flow, reduce physical and environmental stress. Next, for the maintenance and restorations, it is about the regular maintenance, which is about the ongoing efforts to preserve structural integrity, and it is to ensure environmentally friendly and historically accurate repair. According to Richard Butler 1980, TALC model has 6 stages, which is exploration, involvement, development, consolidation, stagnation, and decline or rejuvenation. Famosa is slightly in the consolidation stage. Firstly, we're talking about the established attraction. It is a known tourist site in a UNESCO city. Famosa is a well-known and established tourist site within a UNESCO World Heritage City. Next, For the high visitor numbers, it is managed and consistent. It is consistently high and managed visitor numbers. And for the economic impact, it is a major economic driver for the local community. Significant economic impact on the local community with tourism being a major economic driver. Next, for the developed infrastructures, accommodation, eateries, and transportation. Well-developed tourism infrastructure including accommodations, eateries, and transportation facilities. And lastly, for the management challenges, it is overcrowding and need for sustainable practices. Potential issues with overcrowding and the need for sustainable management practices to maintain its appeal and condition. For the conclusion, Famosa in Malacca is best characterized as being in the consolidation stage of the TALC model. This stage indicates that it is a mature tourist destination with stable visitor numbers and well-developed infrastructure. To maintain its appeal and ensure long-term sustainability, ongoing efforts in heritage preservation, infrastructure maintenance, and potentially innovative rejuvenation strategies are essential. Next, we'll be moving on to the infrastructure development, which is historical significance, tourism infrastructure, and sustainable tourism development. For the historical significance, Famosa historical value. It is built in 1511 and it is crucial for historical tourism. For the UNESCO World Heritage status, it attracts international attention and funding. For tourism infrastructures, it enhances accessibility and comfort. It is building public amenities such as information centers, restrooms, and signage for improved visitor experiences. And lastly, for the sustainable tourism development, the policies ensure tourism benefits without compromising preservation, and it is to engage locals in tourism activities and heritage preservation. Next, we'll be talking about the facility. Firstly, it is a Porta de Santiago. It is the oldest surviving European architectural remains in Asia, focal point for understanding Malacca's colonial history. And for the conservation efforts, it is needed for the routine maintenance, structural reinforcement, and protection from environmental damage. Next, we're talking about the museum and cultural centers. Artifacts, exhibitions, and displays narrating Malacca's colonial past can be found. And there are also lots of multimedia presentations and guided tours for engaging history learning. Next, we'll be talking about the next point of facilities, which is visitor amenities and commercial facilities. For the visitor amenities, the restrooms, seating areas, and information kiosks are available for a comfortable visit. And well-maintained pathways, ramps, and clear signage are also available for inclusive access. And next, for the commercial facilities, which is the last point for facilities, it is to enhance the visitor experience, support local economy with memorabilia and local cuisine. It is also to promote traditional crafts and provide a platform for local artists. Next, we'll be talking about local community responses. The economic benefits to the local community is the growth of local businesses, which is restaurants, cafes, and souvenir shops. The craft and souvenir markets also starting to supporting local artists. Next, we'll be talking about the social and cultural impact. The cultural pride and awareness among younger generations, and it is also to balancing modernization with tradition preservation. For the tourist-related activities, we're going to talk about the guided tours, cultural performance, historical reenactments, and educational workshops. For the guided tours, it is about the in-depth historical narratives by knowledgeable guides and interactive experiences with Q&A sessions. And for the cultural performance, there are traditional Malay dance and music performance, and also festivals and events like Malacca Heritage Festivals featuring parades, art exhibitions, and food fairs. And for the historical reenactments, we're talking about the battle reenactments and military drills illustrating strategic importance. And it also talks about colonial era demonstrations of crafts, cooking, and attire. And lastly, for the educational workshops, it is about the history workshops with lectures, multimedia presentations, and hands-on activities. Archaeological tours led by experts can also help to highlighting excavation processes and discoveries. And lastly, we'll be talking about the environmental consideration, which have 3 points, which is regular maintenance, eco-friendly initiatives, and use of authentic material. We'll be talking about the regular maintenance first. It is about routine cleaning, repairing, reinforcing structures, and it is also to prevent deterioration from environmental factors and human activity. Next, eco-friendly initiatives. It is to develop green infrastructures such as energy efficient lighting and water conservation. It is also to promote sustainability efforts. And lastly, for the use of authentic materials, it is historically accurate and sustainable materials, and it is to maintain historical values and environmental friendliness.